I'd rather that you were in the spotlight instead of me in the spotlight. That's okay. All right, and if it doesn't work, then I'll just use somebody else, or I can just share as much of the language as I can share.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I don't think, so there's a piece in here, announced observation teacher reflection, that I
Okay.
will need you to complete
Okay,
too.
yeah.
You haven't done that. So, since you haven't done that, would you just share with me your reflection?
Okay.
How you think things went?
Overall, I feel like it was a very rough lesson.
Okay.
If I could redo it, there are some things that I would change. First of all, I just felt very off. The weekend and then the snow day, and Tuesdays are always very different because I don't have specials in the morning to kind of plan and go over things. And I was pretty familiar with the lesson, but I didn't have enough problems prepared. And I had intended to go over 2 different methods several times, but it was taking a little longer than I had expected, and I didn't want to make them sit through any more whole group instruction. So I feel like we kind of left the whole group at a level of understanding that I feel like definitely could have been a lot stronger, and usually would have been a lot stronger. And then breaking off into groups, I had looked up, I had prepared, I just went online and found single digit by 4 digit numbers with division with no remainders. And then we did the first problem and it had a remainder.
Right.
And I was,
But you recovered quickly.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so, and then going on top of that, some of my kiddos were just pretty high energy, and usually if that type of thing is happening, I will have them individually go back to their desk and make up their own problems to write down and solve on their own. But because this is the start of the new unit, they didn't know how to do that individually yet. So that was another big thing that had made a difference, because I had went over and redirected, and even with some of my special ed kiddos, it was, that was kind of was throwing it off a little bit. But from now, starting today, we're just going to do another whole class, more individual, partner work, but still as a whole group, going over the problems and the routine, because I know, especially with this method, it's a lot of procedure, just doing the same thing over and over and over. And a lot of the kiddos yesterday who kind of felt like they were struggling, or it was just a lot all at once, I know once they do it even just 2 more times, they'll be a lot more comfortable with it. So.
Yeah, so you've hit a lot of the things that I noticed as well, and that I hadn't seen in here before, so I was a little surprised too.
Yes, yesterday was
right.
It felt like a very, very off day.
So one thing that I wondered was when you left large group, you had done one example with the kids for the whole big problem, single digit divided by 4, or into a 4 digit, I should say. And then you divided the kids up. 2 things I had thinking about that. So when you divide the kids up into groups, do you typically do by counting, or
No.
do you have them assigned? Okay.
No, I usually do not do it that way, but it was pretty hard to gauge who had what understanding. I didn't go directly down the rows. I was kind of hopping around to kind of be able to split to where I wanted them to be able to split, but that's not the normal groups that I would usually do. Usually I have, a lot of my higher kids in one group, and then I will even do shorter stations at that, where they're with me for a shorter amount of time, so I can give these other 2 groups even just like 4 minutes longer with me. So, yes, that was also different than what we usually do. And we also usually mainly only have 2 stations where they are doing reflex to strengthen their math fact knowledge, and then Prodigy, which is what more they like to do, but reflex and then Prodigy if they get their green light on reflex. So that was a little different as well, and I feel like that definitely changed things too.
So here's a question that I just don't know, being new to the district. Well, you're new also, so you might not know either, but we'll check it. Do we ever do a pre-assessments when we start a new unit, so we know the students that already have it? Nothing. That's something that we should, that's something that we should maybe look into, because there's probably kids that have it, like, Daniel
Yep.
came up to me and showed me how he had
Yep.
worked through. I already noticed, Mrs. Santel,
Yeah.
look at this, so
Mhm.
that's good to know, because that would help also with grouping.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
not that it was bad, it just was a question, because, sometimes you intentionally will group higher, medium, and low in the
Yeah.
same group as well,
Yeah.
for different purposes.
Mhm.
Okay. And then along with that, then when you took your first group, you immediately taught them the shortcut method.
Mhm.
So you had taught them the long way with
Yeah.
one problem, and then jumped into the shortcut method.
Yeah.
Do you think that was
yes. I feel like I was a little too unprepared with that first method, and knowing these kids, I know that the shortcut method is going to be the method that they prefer in the long run, but I still want them to understand the concept instead of just the routine.
Yeah.
To have that conceptual understanding before we really get into the procedural understanding. So that's kind of what I was going over today.
I was going to ask if
What my plan is to go back over and do it with the place value sections method and really show them, okay, the thousands, and then you're adding the hundreds and the ones place and
High five
doing
me
it that
school.
way, so.
Sorry for the interruption, but I want to let everyone know there is no popcorn today. We didn't have volunteers show up, so we will not be doing popcorn today. Thank you.
Good. That was going to be my question, was to make sure that we have that conceptual
Yeah.
understanding, is if you're going to review that today.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and I too, I agree with you. The shortcut method is the way that they're going to go.
Yeah.
If they totally understand why we do what we do,
Right.
then they
Exactly.
can jump into shortcut
Yeah,
method
yeah.
without any issues. Okay. Let's see. Oh, and then another question, or another thing that I noticed, that we just want to really, really be sure that we're using really precise language with the kids.
Mhm.
So when you're dividing, let's just say 7 into 4,200 something, first you always ask, does the 7 go into the 4? How many times does 7 go into 4? Can we
Yeah.
do that? And then 42, how many times is 7 going to go into 42? And then when you put the number up above, just that reminding, because we went into both these digits, this
Goes
has to go up
directly above,
directly above
yeah.
the second digit.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they're going to get to the top and they're going to think, oh, I need to add a 0 because there's nothing at the end.
Yeah.
So just when you're teaching and reteaching it today,
Yeah.
just that quick reminder. And then even I've seen teachers use graph paper before, because that'll force the alignment. You know what I
Oh, my
mean?
goodness,
Yeah,
yes.
because then they put a number in bigger graph,
Right.
so that they can write it out decently.
Okay.
But that will help them to
That's a
see
great
also how
idea.
it just keeps that in place.
Awesome.
I have seen such incredible classroom management in your classroom before. So, it felt to me too. That snow day always throws our kids. In this building, it is just especially tough. I don't know. They can't handle a Monday on a Monday except on a Monday.
Mhm.
If it's a
Yeah.
Monday on a Tuesday, a Monday on a Friday, it has
Yeah.
just been a disaster.
Mhm.
So I wasn't surprised to see that they were a little bit off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Love the 24 that they're doing. I did not know what that was until somebody came up to me and said, hey, I'm just really struggling with these numbers, I can't figure it out. I'm gonna give up. And I said, oh, I don't think giving up is a good option. Let's keep on trying it.
Right.
You can come up with it. I'm gonna check with him. It was Daniel, actually, that came up to me to tell me that.
Mhm.
So I would like to check with him today to see if he managed
Yeah.
to figure that out, because he really was struggling with it and just wanted to give up. I think what you, conferencing with Bailey. Do you need me?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just, she needs me. She wouldn't have
Oh,
called
it's,
me.
well, I have
Yeah.
to get the kids in a couple minutes anyway,
Yeah,
so it's.
yeah. Okay, so I did not, there's a piece, let me show you. There's a piece in here that I need to get done that I don't have done. That is right here. These are all the notes that I took while I was in
Okay,
here
yeah.
observing, and then I will divide them into the domains
Oh, okay.
and into the categories
Yeah.
under the domains, and then submit all of this to you. And then
Okay.
you'll be able to see all of it, and I'll rate in
Yeah.
here. So
Awesome.
just finish that.
Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Oh,
Thank you.
Hopefully your recording works.
Yeah, and if not, like I said, I have a few.